Last time, I showed you how I made a very complex mock-up, struggled to make a t-shirt, applied a million studs, and overall put together a very complex puzzle in order to create the best of my Tifa cosplay. In this video, I will be finishing all the armor pieces and tiny details in record time because I need this cosplay finished for a very important competition and I am running out of time.
If it looks like I just woke up, it's because I just woke up. It's before 8. And there's about like 10 days left before I fly to Spain for the competition. And yeah, neither of my cosplays are finished. I was hoping by now that they would at least be like at a wearable stage and just like tiny little details to finish, but there's plenty of things that I need to finish. The kimono is almost done, it's just missing a couple of things, so I'm not very worried about this one. But the main Tifa cosplay is still missing all the armor pieces. It's missing the suspenders or whatever you call those. And yeah, basically all the foam work and stuff, which personally I don't find the most difficult part, but I find it boring. I'm not really big in armor because I don't really like patterning armor so much. It's just like, no, it's not my thing. But yeah, have to do it, have to finish it. So I'm hoping today at least I get to do a little bit and just once I get the foam pieces patterned, which probably won't take me that long, I can just like go ahead and paint it and that's it. It shouldn't be too difficult, but yeah, I'm just a bit concerned because I haven't had time to practice much, and basically there's still a bunch of little things here and there, like the audio and the props for the stage and all that still need to be done, so I'd rather just drink my chocolate milk and start working.
Wow, that's so much energy. Fortunately, one of the things I had already finished was 3D printing all the pieces for the cosplay, which, as you know, is super easy. I only had to make sure all the pieces are correctly positioned in the plate, use the right settings for my printer, wait for 3 hours for each plate to finish, carefully remove the pieces from the plate, dunk them in alcohol to remove the excess resin, stir them well for at least 3 minutes, dunk them in hot water to remove the support, cure them with UV light for the right amount of time, sand them one by one, trying not to sand your hands, wash them again because the dust is dangerous, and then your usual prime, paint and varnish. Takes no time, it's super easy and every cosplayer loves it. Of course, if I went too quick for you, I made a separate booklet where I explain the process step by step, and I will be leaving you a link in the description if you want to download it. With all the pieces ready, it was time to start assembling the belt. As I was running out of time, I decided to buy several rolls of fake leather strips to speed the process. I carefully assembled all my pieces looking at reference pictures. I actually love that Tifa is super well prepared and she has extra safety pins on her buckles. I also made some extra shoulder pieces and other bits to go with the straps. But you know what part of Tifa was the easiest? That's right, getting my contact lenses from Moco Queen. They have a great range of red contacts and they ship from the US, so only take 3 to 5 days to arrive if you leave over there. Mine travel super safe on their chunky contact cases and were super comfortable to wear all day. For Tifa, I chose the red-brown suede because they look so much like her eyes. Thank you so much Moco Queen for sponsoring this video, and now let's go back to crafting. I actually sewed most of my pieces, but there were some sections that were too thick or too difficult, and for those I used E6000.
And I ran out of leather, of course, and basically when I went to get more, they didn't have any, so I had to buy a new bunch of leather. It's not real leather, it's fake leather, but yeah, very expensive stuff, and I had to buy more from a different brand because they didn't have any left of this one, so now I have the new rolls. The good news is that this one, as cool as it looks, was too thick, and this I am hoping I can sew, but yeah, I need to just like change all of these straps and just get like 3 or 4 meters of straps put together again, and then sew it and glue it and put it together. Yes.
But eventually, and with a lot of patience, I was able to remake all the straps.
Problem. It's been so long that even if I was trying to put the pieces together as I took the pieces off the ones I already had, I think I have misplaced a couple of pieces, and yeah, I seem to be short. I think I just put them in the wrong place, but yeah, now I'm gonna have to just go look at all my references to make sure that I'm putting them right, because I'm not sure anymore. And I really hope that they are in the wrong place and I do have those pieces, because currently my printer is out of order. It's too cold to make it run.
So I had no choice but to try and look for the piece wherever it was, because honestly I really did not have the time to make all the process of printing all over again for just the one piece. But luckily I found it. I am just like very late for everything.
I can indeed sew it, something that I couldn't do with the other one. I actually couldn't top stitch it with the other one either because it was too thick. But yeah, in some of the references this part is top stitched, just imagine like the longer part. So I ordered some thread that will arrive tomorrow, and hopefully then I can just add that little bit of extra detail, because compared to the rest of the cosplay, this looks a little bit plain, and honestly this is kind of like my dream cosplay, and I don't care so much about the competition, I just want to make it perfect.
There were only a couple of pieces left, and I decided to remake these ones because they didn't look good on the first attempt.
Of course I ran out of bias tape.
A few more adjustments and straps were done. Time to draw some buttons for the bracelet. I glued all my pieces on foam and glued them with contact cement. And I decided to make my own materia gems using UV resin. While the resin was still curing, I also introduced an LED.
Half material. Look at how pretty that is. Let's see if it still lights up. I'm terrified. Yes! Look at that!
I also made patterns for the other bracelet. This one took a little bit of trial and error.
And honestly, if you do a mock-up, you are gonna see the problems before they happen, and it's gonna help you out a little bit. So I'm just gonna make sure the size is roughly correct, and I'm just gonna trace all my patterns again, but then just using maths and making sure everything's square and perfect and looking good.
Once I was sure my pieces were correct, I cut them on my foam, and I also assembled them using contact cement. But before I could do that, I had to sand every single piece. For the rune details, I use a very sharp blade. And I decided to reinforce the bracelet with a little bit of warbler before I heated them and just shaped them in place. For the elbow piece, I covered the section with warbler and shaped it on top of a curved surface. Then I made holes on it and added more pieces of foam to add the details.
I really think I have made the ultimate warbler cookie.
After applying several layers of foam primer and let them dry by the fire, it was finally time to paint. And here's a good tip for painting big surfaces. Use a makeup brush to avoid brush strokes and apply several layers of paint until you are happy with the results. I added a few scratches with a lighter color to make it look as if the piece had been worn off, and I also added a thin wash of paint to the recesses to make it look like there was more volume. A bit of silver applied with a sponge will make it look as if the paint has been scratched. And I just needed to add a few more details to my pieces to finish them off. The only things left to do was to make some more straps for the armor, shape the pieces that I had printed before, and glue them to the pair of gloves which I also made by hand and of course were also super easy to make. And after 3 months of work, Tifa was finally done. Just the final touch. I can't believe I finished this cosplay. She has been my dream cosplay for such a long time, and I got to wear it with my best friend as Aerith. But the adventure isn't over. Next time I will show you how I made her kimono and how we entered the most important competition in Spain, so make sure to subscribe if you don't want to miss it. Thank you very much to all my patrons for your support, and also thank you for watching. I will be seeing you in the next adventure. Bye! Now it's your turn. You have to write all the tutorials, okay? Will you do that for me, please? Yes? Thank you.